That's my take on this subject, but you may disagree. Load game world generator. Okay. Chipper Grove. So the way I understand this is that this is instead of having bespoke custom-made levels, this has procedurally generated chunks, and the levels are stitched together from those chunks. And then you auto-run, and all you do is jump and, you just jump and dive, I think? There's jump. Jump and die 10,000 times. Okay, I can do that. And then you slide downwards. Look, I'm not gonna deny that, like, I've seen some comments about Super Meat Boy Forever. A lot of people, I would say, disappointed that maybe it's not like a traditional Super Meat Boy 2, but I'm willing to give it a fair shake. Oh, you can do like a mid-air dash as well. It's basically Exit the Gungeon Part 2, a good game that is a little bit misunderstood. Exit the Gungeon is one of society's great injustices from 2020. Probably not the number one greatest injustice, but yo, I just beat A20 as the silent in Slay the Spire. Yo, it's a very fortuitous time for you to mention that. I got fed up with Rocket League, so I was like, you know what? What else is on Game Pass? I'm gonna be honest, I came pretty close to playing FIFA. So I started playing Slay the Spire. You can't do a mid-air jump, huh? I started playing Slay the Spire instead on the Xbox version. It's really, I mean, it's Slay the Spire, right? Like, you shouldn't be too surprised by it, but that game is still very good. Although occasionally I do hit the skip turn button when because I get my X and Y buttons confused because I also play on the Nintendo Switch from time to time. Let me in. There we go. I have heard that Super Meat Boy Forever is pretty difficult, so have mercy on me, please, here. I don't know, I was entertaining all sorts of weird ideas for what I would do on the stream today. Like, I thought, what if we just started playing NBA 2K? What if we just completely lampshade, or like, didn't even talk about it at all, but we just like went live and we're like, oh, thank you for the down punch information, by the way. What if we just started playing NBA 2K? Like, not as my main game for the rest of my life, but just as a one-off. I think I could have fun. I like sports video games. I'm not a snob. There we go. We've done it. Do you have to kill all of the blue guys to unlock Steve from Minecraft? Or is that as of yet unknown? Can we get Football Manager? No. I will never play Football Manager on stream, and like most things I say never, you know, what I mean is don't ever plan on it, but it could possibly happen. The thing is, I don't want to play Football Manager because I don't know the soccer ecosystem. So I don't know like who to scout, I don't know like what team I want to be. And then like I feel like with games like that, it takes so long to, like, if you're not into it, it takes a very long time to generate those kind of like emergent storylines. That's just my 2 cents. You may disagree. I can't believe that worked. Dude, I'm possibly the world's greatest gamer. I'm gaming! I thought Canadians called it football. No, Canadians who wish they were European. Like maybe they did like a summer in Amsterdam or something like that. They call it football. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Have you watched any of the new Letterkenny? I'm gonna do you one better. I haven't even watched any of the old Letterkenny. I've heard great things, but I have never seen it for myself. That's right. Canadians do call it hockey. Oh, you mean ice hockey? Daniel Radcliffe, MP4. Speaking of hockey, anybody watch Team Canada ritualistically dismantle Team Germany at the World Juniors yesterday? Oh, baby. That serves you right for ruining the 2018 Olympics for the Canadian men's hockey team. Let that be a lesson to you. Use 16 to see it. The music is a little wonky, huh? Like, let me go. I'm not, like, anti the music necessarily, but it's a touch corny. I'm trapped. Maybe you could just kill me. You're wonky? Yeah, but like, are you the composer? Because, like, I mean... It's not even, like, necessarily bad. It just seems like maybe it doesn't fit as much. It's like our daughter just got kidnapped. Let's go to a hoedown. Okay. Okay, we've done it. So close. Incongruous. There you go, exactly. Insubordinate and churlish. Would you ever consider a cooking stream? I'll tell you, the answer is no-ish. Because, like, this new camera, as is often the case, there's a certain temptation to get, like, inspired, right? You're like, now that I'm not bolted down to this frickin' webcam, I could do all sorts of content. However, I don't feel like cooking is likely. And honestly, like, a big reason for it is the fact that our kitchen is not really well suited to filming. But certainly, I wouldn't say I'd expect it. Here's what I would say. I wouldn't be surprised to see more, let's call it non-gaming content in 2021 with the new equipment that I'm getting. I'm not gonna say, like, oh, as of, like, February, you're gonna see me doing, like, IRL streaming from Stanley Park or whatever, but particularly because I'm pretty sure that I'm probably, like, last on the list to get vaccinated as a 32-year-old with no underlying medical conditions. However, just get over that. It definitely interests me. So, like, I was talking, and like, I think we could see how this stream is gonna go for the time being. You know, we're gonna talk some inside baseball. I talked to Sinnoh last night. So Sinnoh, if you don't know Sinnoh, he is a content creator who makes content very similar to what I make, in the sense, like, he does, like, trivia night streams with old crappy Wii games like Family Feud, Price is Right, etc., etc. I'm holding down, dude. Just give me a freaking second here. There we go. There we go. I'm holding down. Oh, it totally works, actually. You're right. R control. Of course, R control. I'm replaying this level because I'm mad at myself. All right, maybe we should have just moved on. But yeah, Sinnoh, and also Sinnoh's well known for Resident Evil Resistance content, and then when Resistance kind of like petered out, pivoted to Dead by Daylight. Very well known Dead by Daylight streamer who also helped us when we wanted to get into Dead by Daylight. My God, it worked. Much better. Oh, I forgot I had to go through this weird section again. Please pivot. Thank you. It's just a little weird. Anyway, long story short, Sinnoh made a React-style video where he watched an episode of this British reality program called Come Dine With Me. And I don't watch like a lot of gaming content online. And I understand that you're like, you know, I'm not trying to bite the hand that feeds. If you like watching gaming content, you know, nobody's happier about that fact than me. But I'm kind of more of like a non-gaming content guy. Like, because I live my whole life in the gaming space. I know, you're like, complain harder, but no, because I live my whole life in the gaming space, I feel like the non-gaming space is more interesting for content for me. And I was like, you know what? Sinnoh and I have a certain rapport. Wonder if we could do like a watch party of some like trash British or Canadian reality TV. And he's down with the idea, which is awesome. The only problem is exactly what you'd expect to be, which is that we can't seem to find licensing. Stuff that's available in Canada and the UK, very common to have an overlap. However, most of that stuff, for whatever reason, is not available in the United States. Similarly, the stuff that's available in the United States is very rarely available in Canada and the UK, which is frustrating. But we're working on it. I would expect to see some movement on that. I would expect to see some movement on that front. I think that would be cool content. Like, that's the kind of content... Like, we're always going to be 98% gaming content. The more other stuff I can add, the happier I would be, I think. Especially as we pivot to having a little bit more time on this new stream schedule that we're starting with next week. Well, this Friday, I should say. We will always, yeah, until you become popular with normie stuff. Oh no! A streamer I like might make fun content that creates an unprecedented level of success for them, and that would fucking suck! Come on, man. Are you crazy? I just walked over here. Just hold down. There we go. I'm not talking about playing Dead by Daylight, although I would like to play more Dead by Daylight as well. So you know what? Maybe you got a point on that one. I also don't think that there's like too much risk of me becoming like insanely normie popular. Like, I'm not complaining. You know, I'm doing well for myself. But like, if you look at the types of like YouTube channels that get popular, whenever you see somebody that's like, you know, they popped off and they have like they got like 20 million subscribers on YouTube, it's always like not a 32-year-old guy with no hair. It's usually like a 22-year-old guy, and he's got like cool hair, like his hair's all like spiked up and what? Oh, we're fine, we're fine. And it's like, you know, it's like purple or something like that, you know what I mean? If you see me show up with purple hair, you might be like, oh no, this guy's gonna get some level of success. The only, and it's unfortunate, the only way that guys who look like me get very popular in the gaming space is when they become very negative about the industry, I think. So I would be way less concerned about a pivot to like funny React style content and way more concerned about a pivot to like, you won't believe what Ubisoft did this week. They don't have respect for the gamers. Oh, okay, the saw breaks wood. That makes sense. What did they do? Oh no, I told you it works. I'd like to make it back, please. Thank you. When are the Voros twins putting you through a table? I'm hoping that can be arranged in 2021. Obviously, like right now, it can't happen for, you know, infectious disease-based reasons, but I'm definitely interested in having two professional wrestlers who are famous for being very wholesome slam me through a folding chair or something like that. Okay, punch goes faster. It's good to know. It's good intel. Punch goes faster. Sounds painful. Don't they do it so it's like not as painful? Like I'm assuming it still hurts. But like it's not like, if you know how to take it, it's not catastrophic, right? I hope. Oh. I will say, look, this is probably not what people were looking for out of like a Super Meat Boy game for sure. When you're sight reading and it's going well, there's a certain sense of like flow that you can get from that. I'm not sure overall where I fall on this game yet, but I think it is one of those, my take right now, having played, I don't know, for like 10 minutes, is that this is one of those things where if it had actually come out and not been called like Super Meat Boy, it probably would have been a little bit less negatively received. It's also like, maybe it's not quite fair, but like, I don't know. Like, when a game has incredibly long development time, and then it comes out and it's like, kind of meh, I think that's where people start to get maybe a little, you know. And it really, like, now that I think about it, it's kind of like, how didn't we see it coming? Like, this has so much, let's not say controversy necessarily, but, you know, okay, it's a sequel to the original game, but the team has changed. It's taken 6 years in development. It used to be a mobile game, and then they changed it to actually come out on PC as well. But then also, like, is an Epic exclusive for the time being, at least on PC. It has like 9 different controversies surrounding it. So I can definitely understand. I can definitely understand. Oh, you know what? How about this? There we go. Just take your time. I'm genuinely having a fun time though. Maybe it's not quite Super Meat Boy 2, but please. You just gotta pick your moment. There we go. How much is it? Well, how about I answer your question by saying that when I bought it, I had a $14 Epic coupon for something that I don't even know where I got it from, so it only cost me $7.99 Canadian. How do you feel about that? And then if you just like don't crunch the numbers in your head, you might, you know, you might feel okay. Also, I did use creator code Dan Giesling. So, yeah, cost me $8. But Dan's getting a little slice of the pie. Hey NL, I used my creator... What the heck's going on with that green there? I used my creator code Northern Lion when I got a free game on Epic today. Honestly, like... You might laugh, but I'm for it. I see that analytically on like my own... Like my Epic backend. We gotta go faster, man. It's nice. Because sometimes, like, especially when big games come out and they're free on the Epic Store, you log in and you're like, what the heck, 100 people used my code. I'm gonna retire. And then you're like, you know, the earnings are not what you'd expect. Let's put it that way. Come on, man. MC Ginger Snap, thank you. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. We have made it to a new chunk. Anyway. Would you even retire if you could? I've thought about it. Like not thought about, like, oh, I'm gonna retire tomorrow. I think there is definitely a level of, like... And again, like, it's a place of, like, extreme privilege, don't get me wrong. But, like, there is a level of, like, what would I even do? Like, I think if I always remember, like, my grandpa owned his own business. And then he retired when he was like 55. And, you know, I don't know. I was probably like 6 when he retired, so I've got some memory of it. And he was like so excited to be retired. He's like, I'm done with the, you know, bullshit working world, whatever. And then like the first year of retirement was like pretty sick. If I can speak for him. And then like after that, he just kept getting involved in like various schemes, you know? Like, he couldn't turn off his, like, entrepreneurial spirit, which was, like, really effective when you run your own business. But, like, when you're retired, it's just kind of dangerous. Like, so he started, like, some hobbies. Like, he would make his own, like, fishing tackle and stuff like that, which is really cool, right? But then he also, like, I remember one time, because we used to live with, like, my parents and my grandparents in the same duplex. We came home once, and there was, like a huge tractor trailer, and we're like, what the heck's going on? And then I guess he had bought, like, a bunch of slot machines. Like, recreational slot machines, and we're like, what are you gonna do with these? And he was like, oh, I think, like, once I get them, like, fixed up, because they were kind of broken. He's very good with his hands, but once I get them, like, fixed up, we could start a company, and we could, like, rent them out for, like, bachelor parties and stuff like that. And you're like, who's gonna... Hey, come to my bachelor party. We got slot machines that, like, legally can't even pay out with real money. You just press a button and watch the reel spin. Like, what kind of business plan is this? But yeah, so like, anyway, he got into more trouble, I guess, as a result of being retired. So I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I think it's very easy to just be like, you know, oh, just like, you know, spend time with your family, which is great. And I think if I could trust myself to do it, if I got to that point where I was like, yeah, we can do it, let's retire, then that would be cool. But I think like within a year, I would be like, I'm going back to coding school, and then I would be like, I'm gonna try to make the next like Facebook, I'm gonna make the next Friendster or something like that. I would just end up getting involved in a different job that honestly would be like probably worse. God forbid, like the saddest cautionary tale for sure is like when independently wealthy people retire and have like more money than they know what to do with and just spend every day making themselves miserable on Twitter. Like that's what I worry about happening to me. It's like I'd retire and then just spend all day being like, does this make you mad? That would suck, man. So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like if I quote unquote retired, I would just stream And I would probably stream, like, almost as much. I might even stream more. Because I'd be like, oh, now that I'm retired, I got so much time to do my job. I haven't seen the clip of Sips talking about retirement, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was similar. Apparently, we're the same human being. All right, this is cool. I heard the boss battles in this game were very fun. You gotta punch the. I bet you gotta punch the. Yeah. You gotta punch them. I've been crushed. Yeah, I know. I did it. Uh-oh. You just keep mashing? Is that what you want from me? Why do you keep saying space again and again? You can combo. Okay. What? You're not joking. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually combo. A lot of people don't know it. They need their chat to tell them, which is pretty sad. Okay, how am I gonna get over there? I'm not. That's the answer. Yeah, this music also seems a lot more kind of meaty. I wonder, I mean, I'm not suggesting there was like some kind of seminar that happened. But I wonder why both why both Meat Boy and Gungeon went, when it came time to maybe like make a sequel, why they decided like a mobile version that is kind of like mechanically substantially different from the original was the way to go. Money? I don't know, like, I know, like, I don't know, forgive me, it's kind of too cynical of a take. I think mobile games equal money was like a fairly reasonable take, maybe in like 2011, but the games that make money on mobile are not like, you know, $5 games. They're games like your chat's favorite game, Genshin Impact, where you actually, you know, spend all your allowance money on trying to get, like, Christmas waifu. Let me out. But they're hot. Well, when you put it that way. Hey, Meat Boy's kind of hot. Son of a... Anyway. It just seems like, I'm sure it was probably like, you know, there was not an impetus that was shared necessarily, but it just seems weird that like these two super, like, beloved PC games were like, yeah, for our like pseudo sequel, we're gonna not make like a proper second one. Instead, we're just gonna get like, we're gonna get weird with it. We've done it. We'll play a little more for sure. We're still pretty early here. Let's see how it gets when it actually gets difficult. Also, someone asked in the middle of the boss fight, is Geo dead? Geo is not dead. Time is just, like, especially as I'm working my schedule over to be, like, more streamy. Geo, Savicta and I are making plans to do the Geo Battle Royale in, like, private lobbies. But on stream, probably, and then chop them up and put them on YouTube. That's my take on it. It's the squirrel from the first game, from the forest. Grogu.
Chapter
There's only 4 levels? I do have to do that League of Legends collaboration as well with Ross Boomsocks. I gotta play through the tutorials first. Alright, the clinic. You'll feel a pinch. What the... Oh, if you ever stay... Ah! The knives hurt you. Who would have thought? When people get desperate, the knives come out. This music seems a little bit more... Meat Boy-esque. Way more typical, I agree. Oh, those are knives as well. I thought it was just a weird looking bush. Now I get it. Okay, take me back. Country roads! Oh no. Country roads to the place. Okay, I kind of can't believe I've done it. Oh, come on, man. We should have just punched our way out. Actual god gamer. Oh, yeah, you gotta punch there. When in doubt, just punch. That's the way to do it, man. Works for Logan Paul, works for me. Son of a... Imagine if God was a gamer. Dude, if God was a gamer, he would never let all the fucked up shit that happens to gamers happen. He would stop it. He would have stopped it when the horse armor came out. He would have been like Caesar in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He would have been like, no! Yeah, no, God can't be a gamer. Otherwise, there's no way Cyberpunk would have come out so fucked up. He wouldn't have let it happen, man. You geniuses! Yeah, plus he would have given me some kind of damage up on today's Isaac run. Have you seen any movies lately that you would recommend? Yes. We watched, like everybody else on planet Earth, we watched Soul, and it was really good. If you like Pixar's, like Inside Out style Pixar, I would highly recommend watching Soul, which I thought was extremely well done. Will you watch Wonder Woman? So first off, if you like it, more power to you. I thought the first Wonder Woman was like, it was fine until the end. I'll even go a step further. I thought it was good until the end. And just being kind of crappy at the end doesn't ruin the whole thing. But people do not like this one very much. And then secondarily, WB's kind of got me pissed off. Can I explain why? In the US, Wonder Woman was available on HBO Max on Christmas Day. In Canada, I mean, I know that it's a NL. I got a website I can show you. In Canada, it's only in theaters. You think I'm gonna risk like getting an infectious disease to see fucking Wonder Woman 1984? Like you honestly, you got like an unhealthily high opinion of yourself. He's done it. Sometimes Luigi has to win by doing absolutely nothing. Oh, frick. It's on Prime in Canada for $30. So yeah, that's why, like, honestly, well, you have the choice to either see like a brand new Pixar movie for the price of your Disney Plus subscription that you probably have already got because you forgot to cancel after The Mandalorian Season 2 ended. You could either see a brand new Pixar film that is beloved, or you could like check out Wonder Woman, which people were mostly like, seems kind of bad. Easy choice. Easy choice. I think I'll try to watch the Marvel shows. I do feel, and people will be like, you know, finally. I do feel like the Marvel spell is kind of off me. Because there's been like a year with no Marvel stuff. So it's like waking up from a little bit of a dream where all I want to do is watch like foreign films. But if the new stuff's good, then I would check it out. I kind of see it a little bit like Star Wars. Like I don't really like I like the idea of Star Wars. And if they make good Star Wars content, I will watch it, but I'm not going to watch it if it's like just okay. It has to be good. You have eaten me. Okay. Is this Donkey Kong Country? Is Funky Kong here? Oh, you gotta bust out. I see. I see. I think I gotta get higher. Not that high. Yeah, no, so like... So here's how we ended up watching Soul. Like, I knew I would watch it at some point. Because Kate and I, we watched the Pixar stuff together. There we go. Just don't mash it too hard. Meat Boy is a loser. Got him. I disagree, by the way. But I knew we would watch Soul at some point. But I said to Kate, hey, do you want to watch a movie or something? And she said, oh yeah, that new Pixar movie came out. But what I was hoping is she'd be like, yeah, do you have something in mind? And then I'd be like, yeah, let's watch Palm Springs on Amazon Prime. I'm happy we watched Soul, don't get me wrong. But I also still want to watch Palm Springs on Amazon Prime. There's always got to be one person. Everyone's like, Palm Springs is fun. One person's just like, it fucking sucks. I mean, I haven't seen it. You might be right. I'm just saying. Oh, what movie is good? The end of Evangelion? No, the answer, they've never made a good movie. I'm still waiting on the first good movie to come out. I understand. I don't watch comedies. Swoop. Okay, hold on. I know what I must do. I don't know what I must do. Would you prefer everyone agrees? I think so, yeah. Like, I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people, like, they read 1984 like it's kind of like a cautionary tale. I think there's, like, a lot of good stuff you could take from it. A lot of people choose to focus on the bad. I choose to look at this stuff where, like, everybody kind of, like, agrees on everything, and I'm like, dude, that seems pretty sick. Hold on. Tomo would like to come in. This is a real question. What percentage of people that reference 1984 on Twitter have read the book? It's not a difficult book to read, it's not long, but I'm still gonna say that the answer is under 10%. We had to read it in high school as well. But then, like, I know when you're like, they made you read it in high school. Come on, you didn't read all this stuff they made you read in high school. I would say, like, in my 11th grade English class, probably, like, 2/3 of the class read it and 1/3 of the class just looked at the Spark Notes. That doesn't count as having read the book. I kind of, like, so, like, I understand that, I mean, I like 1984. I think it's a great book. The meta verse surrounding 1984 and the response to it kind of makes me roll my eyes from time to time. But I always feel like it has obvious, like, intentional parallels to the real world. But I feel like there's genuinely some people out there who don't understand that it's a work of fiction. Like, yeah, it's like I get what it's related to. Don't get me wrong. But people will literally be like, it's like they've never even read 1984. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like they never read any history, sure. But 1984 is not a non-fiction novel. It's like if you were like, oh, it's like they've never even seen Enter the Spider-Verse, you know? Or Into the Spider-Verse. It's like it's a work of fiction with real-world parallels, of course. But you don't just get to say, like, well, it's like 1984, you know? Like, it's gotta... Your criticism has to be, like, more nuanced than that. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the subject. Mostly, like, it wouldn't bother me except for the fact that you see it referenced just constantly. Like, no matter when anything happens. A vaccine came out? This reminds me of that book, 1984. Really? I don't remember the part where George is forced to get a vaccine by Big Brother so that the other workers in the factory don't get coronavirus. But I guess, you know, I haven't read it for like a decade, so maybe that's in the director's cut. Isn't his name George? Winston! That's right. You're gonna laugh. Why did I think his name is George? Because there's a grocery company in Canada called George Weston, which kind of sounds like Winston. I didn't read the Spark Notes. The whole novel is only like 130 pages. I actually read it when I was like, I don't know, maybe like 12, and then I read it again in 11th grade when we were forced to read it. But like when I was 12, I didn't get it because I was like, what the heck? There's no Wonder Woman in this. That seems bad. Oh, you can get under it. Too high to get over, too low to get under. We're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. Goodbye. With the new streaming schedule, do you think you'll join Malf for some Minecraft? I hadn't thought about it. It's still, like, there's some particulars to work out. And I don't mean that to just be like, no. Just kill me, please. Thank you. I want to preserve, like, a decent amount of solo time. I'm not saying exclusively solo time, but like I get, let's not say like rattled, let's not say like offended or whatever, but like when I made that tweet that was like, you know, like, hey, here's a New Year's resolution for you, stop arguing about dumb shit online. People were like, that's your brand. And I was like, you haven't watched in like 10 years of you. That's not my brand. That's my brand like on Monday. And that's just because Josh is like antagonistic. Which is part of the vibe. But I'm like, most of the time it's actually like pretty chill here. People are like, you know, that's your brand. I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah, like, you know, for the sake of my personal like health, but also I think for like the quality of the content, I can't believe we might have made it there. Like I think I, and of course I'm maybe a little biased here, I think I get a little bit of a bad rap for being antagonistic, you know, or for creating an environment that's like, you know, it's like a crucible of heated discussion. It's really just like Mondays. And I'm not saying like that's Josh's thing, because, you know, that's the Monday vibe. But, you know, if you watch like the stuff that we did with Levy, if you watch the stream with Sips, it's mostly just like pretty chill. I just ran right into it. I didn't know what they wanted from me. Please. So anyway, I'm trying to make like less of that. Now that's not to say we won't do Minecraft with Malf. First off, it's also Malf's thing. Like, I don't want to just be like, well, I'm going to assume that I'm going to be invited. dash when unspikes. Hold on. I gotta think about this. I think that's what I needed. Dash when unspikes. But yeah, I want to preserve a lot of, like, solo time for sure. I'm just being honest as well, and this is not meant to be, like, a knock on anybody else. But, like, even analytically, like, when I look at the, like, the performance... Just punched a ghost in the head. Like, the solo streams actually tend to do as well, or even better sometimes, than the other content. Please let me make it. Thank you. So, which is not an indication like one needs to go, but it's an indication to me that I shouldn't shy away from doing more solo type content. Which is what I'm excited to actually have, like, more time to do, for sure. Especially because, like, for so long... I mean, every other streamer has, like... I'm not saying, like, oh, poor me. But every other streamer has, like, their own solo time. And then they come on the NLSS, and they're like, this is my time to get silly. Whereas, like, so much of my content is on Twitch, at least, had been, like, collaborative over the years. And I'm like, I don't have, like, the decompression time everybody else does where they just, you know, like, relax and aren't in arguments all the time. I just, you know, I get in arguments on Monday, and then it's, like, you know, Gex on Tuesday, and then it's, like, you know, on Wednesday, actually. It's been pretty chill for a while, but you get the idea. Excuse me. I need you to not hit me. Let's not do it that way. Can we go low and then go maybe? No, don't be like, oh, NLSS is canceled. It's not like that at all. Just more solo stuff. Because that's like the other thing that's frustrating, is if you're like, I'm making a change. People are like, oh, so you're, instead of having the dial at 6 out of 10, you're going to crank it to -6. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we go to like 5 first, and then we'll like see how that works, and if it doesn't work, then maybe we'll just go back to 6. And if it works, then maybe we'll go to, you know, 4.5. Anyway, it's not your business, like, sorry to say. I'm not trying to be antagonistic about it. But just like, you know, this happens every single time you talk about, like, making a change to content. People are like, oh, so you're never gonna play a video game ever again. You're like, well, you know, God willing, but no, not really. Just chill out. And then the content, it always gets better. Like, hold on, I need to, there we go, that's what we needed. I remember, like, it's crazy to think about, but when I played through Subnautica, we had, like, the discourse where I was like, I should really, like, add more variety into the YouTube channel. And the prevailing wisdom people had was like, don't. They were like, does this mean you're never gonna play any games ever again? And then, like, a year later, people are like, thank God you did that. Otherwise, you'd still be playing Slay the Spire every day, being miserable. Because you just win all the time. Anyway, that's the long and the short of it. It's gonna be good. I don't know. I do, like, here's a New Year's resolution. I gotta recognize that, like, sometimes comments and chat, they don't think about the fact that, like, what they make is, like, a quick one-off joke can be taken, like, the wrong way. It's probably smart to just take everything as a joke instead of being like, you know, you get the idea. Like, instead of being like, what do you mean, does that mean you're never gonna do gaming again? Why don't you just ignore it and say, like, hey, thanks for the Prime sub? Like, that's probably the right methodology. Are you excited for the Isaac DLC? I feel like, because you said the Isaac DLC in a couple of days. I feel the need to be the bad guy. If you are still of the opinion, or if you're under the idea that the Isaac DLC is coming out on December 31st, you're going to be very disappointed. I know that's what it says on the Steam page. I do. But it's not happening. Yeah, it's just a placeholder date. And like, I don't really know what the placeholder date is. Like, oh my god, we might actually do it. Oh, it now says Q2. Okay. It is a little strange to have a placeholder date that is like way in advance of when it's probably actually going to be released. But what do I know? That's none of my business. Hold on, we gotta send it back. That's all right. We got to a new chunk. Do you even want it to come out? I so desperately want for it to come out. There's very little like in the gaming space that I would root more for right now. Cause like, here's the thing. I'm over the last Isaac episode that went up. Cause I do recognize that like it's more the episodes where I'm miserable are very funny. It's a positive thing. However, I will say that as of the time being, like the next series that is probably on the chopping block is Isaac. And I never thought I would say it, but it has been like so long. It's been so long since new content came out. I know there's mods, but like, you know, you're kind of facing the fact that you can't just play like the same game forever. And analytically, it's like the series that does the worst right now. And you just start to think about like, man, like imagine what I could do with like the 4 hours of a week that right now goes to Isaac. You know what I mean? Like that could go to anything. It could even go to Slasher's Keep. Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, don't do it. And I'm like, oh, when was the last time you watched? And they're like, 2016. It's insane that it even got to this point to begin with. Anyway, like if the DLC would just come out, it would be so much easier, but oh my god. Is it the longest running YouTube series? Like, I'll be honest with you, like, I just don't, like, I don't know, I just don't care. I care about Isaac, I care about making the content entertaining, but I don't care about, like, the legacy of, oh my god, we did it. I have no desire to, like, keep it going just to be, like, because it's been on forever. I think it's still, like, the series has, value. You know, like, it's like a podcast type series, where I banter about whatever, and it's a lot of fun. But it is also probably the series closest to being on like the actual chopping block. Just because it's like I don't even feel like it needs like justification, right? It just needs like you're just like, come on. No, not even like for my own mental health. It's almost like, oh, we could have ducked there. It's like, well, yes, partly for my own mental health, but also like it's actually just kind of like the right business decision. Like the series, it does fine. Like I'm not in danger of, you know, like losing my house or anything. But you also think about like, man, the stuff that could be done with that time instead might be at a good level of both like watchability for people and also like, you know, the flip side of not playing the same game 1,000 times and, you know, just naturally getting like a little bit more frustrated with it as a result over time. I don't. So again, I'm putting my own resolution into practice here. But let's explore this comment, but not in a negative way. Not in a negative way. Just in a way that I think is worth talking about. Are you worried that people would feel ripped off if you stop the Isaac series? Worried maybe is like not the word that I would use. I feel like if you're the kind of person that would feel ripped off, you only like, oh, I subscribed 5 years ago and I only got 4,000 episodes of this thing that I like. You're kind of destined for like misery eventually, regardless. You kind of created a situation where you're never going to be happy because that's just insane. So if that answers the question, then we can move on, I guess. I like Isaac. I really do. I honestly feel like I should not. I should probably stop doing like Eden runs, because the thing that comes most, the thing that comes closest to ending the Isaac series is like the one time every 2 weeks you just get a run that's actually like no speed, no damage, no tears, no orbitals. And it's happening with like alarming regularity because of the fact that you know, the item pool is bloated with a lot of stuff that, you know, doesn't really do anything. Yo, Desporal, thank you for the gifted subscriptions, by the way. By the way, like, this is just, I mean, it should be known by now. It's just the way, like, I talk as well. Like, I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, people are being so rude, like he's baiting me into arguments. It's like this, you know, this is just how I speak. So there's no real, like, negativity implied. But I definitely do, I don't know. I feel like if you ask people that are fans of yours, like, should you change things? They will always just say, like, nah, keep everything the same forever. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me go. So sometimes you just gotta be like, you know, you gotta be like the captain of your own ship. And be like, you know what? I think this will be better. And most of the time, it's been true. There's very few times that, like, I felt like I instituted a change and then been like, actually, this is garbage. And then you can always just put it back, right? Like, when I think back to, like, bad decisions, making the first hour of the NLSS gaming news, that was a bad one. We stopped for, like, after a month of that, because it was just like, what are we doing? Almost everything else has been pretty, has, in my opinion, been pretty good. And that's the other thing, yeah. Like, if Isaac gets canceled, it's not really, like, canceled. We'll just do the sane thing, and instead of being stupid, just say that it's on hiatus until the DLC comes out. It goes to school in Canada. You wouldn't know it. Hold on. Bring back KSP. I will do Kerbal Space Program 2. But there is one catch. I will never do it solo. Ever again. However, a little greedy. I would play it with mouth. But I kind of feel like... With God as my witness, I pressed the spacebar. That's all I can tell you. Okay, let me go. I feel like Kerbal Space Program 2 and the Isaac DLC are like in a race for which one is going to come out last. By the way, they should take as long as they have to take to make it as good as possible. But you can't deny it do be taking forever. I'm like not even looking at the game anymore. You can tell. Brett. How many hours do you have on Rebirth? I think it's like 3,800 or something. Like it's in the 3,000s. It's a lot, right? Like those are the kind of hours that people get like in a game that ruins their life. On the other hand, in fact, it's actually greatly improved my life, to be honest. But really, instead of spending like 12 hours on it, let me go, thank you. Instead of spending 12 hours on it a day, we really just spend 1 hour on it for a million days. Yeah. Anyway, this is an extension from like that channel update that happened in like January of last year, where I was like, I've realized that like for too long, I feel like I've structured my content around the idea that people are watching for the game instead of watching for me, which I think I've kind of like demonstrated is largely false. So close. Not to say the game doesn't have an impact on it, but so like whenever people are like, you know, cancel this, don't cancel this, I'm like, just shut up. Like in the nicest way possible, just let me do it. I know what I'm doing. To thine own self be true. You're not an expert at this. If somebody with like 1 million YouTube subs was like, here's my thoughts, I would be like, yeah. Otherwise, I'm like, stay in your lane. If you don't like the content, then hit it with the thumbs down and I'll cancel it. No, don't do it. You got so much to live for. The squirrel again. I'm starting to understand the narrative of the game. You ever realize that Isaac has literally thrice the episodes of something like the fucking Simpsons? I actually feel like thrice is like, it's considering the Simpsons has been on for 30 years, that's pretty impressive. But I actually think it might have like 30 times the episodes of well, not 30. Chapter complete. I think I've got like 5,000 to 6,000 Isaac episodes. I don't even know. The Simpsons probably makes 30 a year for 30 years. They might have like 1,000. Simpsons episodes don't take 30 minutes to make. No, I think they require the same amount of work. I'm just built different, honestly. Like, I think if I worked on The Simpsons, like, they wouldn't even need like a team of writers, animators, or voice actors, or marketers, etc. I would just like do it. I'd probably just do it. Like in the one, I just do it live. Like I just draw it as it's airing.